Hello, this is the report on the work completed for Module 8. So what I have completely done, at least generally speaking, is my unit plan for my first unit, the narrative. So through Module 8, I'm just working on getting some of the more specific activities for each day planned out, and the formative assessments and that sort of thing. So um, I'm focusing here on basically weeks 2 and 3 for the 4-week unit. So lesson 1.2 for this week is going to focus on a thing link that will allow students to learn more about some of the more specific techniques that are used in narratives, such as dialogue and flashback and multiple narrators. And if necessary, I'll add another section on imagery if it seems that we still need more work with that, um, aside from what we did during the previous week. I'm also going to have a couple surveys that will help me learn more about how students are understanding the material and what direction they think they're going to take with their narrative. And then one thing I've decided to add to my weekly lessons, if necessary, is like a looking ahead sort of thing. So their outline is due next, well, I guess like the following Tuesday. We don't have school on Monday. And because it's due like right at the start of the week, I thought it would be good to just give them a heads up, just say, hey, this is going to be due the next time I see you after the weekend. And for those of you that are moving kind of quickly and you want to get a head start on some stuff for the next lesson, here's something that you can be working on. So for the formatives, I'll first talk about this narrative outline. So we've already talked about plotline, and this week we're finishing up talking about the different narrative techniques. So this is the outline template that I'm providing for them. If they wanted to do something different, they definitely could. But this is generally what I've come up with. So I have the plot pyramid here to kind of remind them the different points that their story should meet, the narrative techniques, a place for them to write the message of their story, and then just a chart here where they can make some notes about the different points of the plot. So essentially what will be happening or what they want to cover at that point in the story, and then some of the different narrative techniques that could be useful at that point in the story. So this is something that I will have an opportunity to see, something that they will get some feedback on from their peers. So it's a good chance for them to get some feedback and for me to kind of get a sense for how their story is shaping up and to make sure that they're meeting all the requirements that are outlined in the assignment sheet. The other two formative assessments are Google Forms. One is the topic declaration. So this comes in the middle of the week after we've done the 2 split days where they're either working on the thing link or they're doing an activity with me where they start to kind of figure out how they want to go about approaching the narrative. So this is essentially where they'll declare their topic and kind of work through why they think their choice will make for a good story and what the message will be and how they plan to communicate that message to their readers. And then and this comes in week 3. So actually I want to go back to, in week 3, this is, again, I guess this is the week where we'll be doing the thing link and the narrative brainstorm and everything. But this is, oh goodness, this is also the point where students are going to, after they finish their outline, get started drafting. So by the end of this week, Um, by the end of this week, they should hopefully have a pretty good understanding of narrative elements and techniques, but in the event that there needs to be more attention spent on some of the different techniques, then I'm going to ask them to complete a survey during lesson 1.3. So if we take a look at it, they're going to create or complete a survey for stations. So if we go back to the calendar, we can see that at the end of week 3, there's going to be a day for stations. So I'm going to have 4 stations set up, one for drafting, one for getting feedback on their outline, and this is going to be specifically for students who didn't have their outline finished the day it was supposed to be done, so I can make sure that I do get to see everybody's work. And then there will be 2 additional stations based on the results from a survey that they'll complete. So I made a list of some topics that I anticipate students will maybe want to have some extra help on, and then there's a place for them to indicate that they're good and they're ready to start drafting, or if there's other things that I'm forgetting, they can make suggestions, and then I'll have some additional stations set up on that Friday to address some of these needs. So the other thing that I guess I've decided I'm adding to the calendar, aside from, as I talked about previously, the topics, and then if there's a split day where the class is split in half, I'll indicate that. Work days, I've decided I'll give them their options on what they can work on. So on this particular work day, they can either work on their outline, or they can do some extra writing practice based on the results from their diagnostic writing piece, which was their introduction letter. And then if, as I showed you, I guess previously, if it's a stations day, it'll say stations, and they click on it, and it'll tell them what the different stations are. And the other thing that I've kind of been working on is the Unit 1 document. So what I've decided I'm going to do in terms of navigation is just have a document library for each unit. And in here I will have the different lessons, and these are I guess where the hyperlinks go to that are on the calendar, and then any other handouts, so assignment sheets and that kind of a thing. And that's it.